This video is explosive. This is a must-watch. Check it out. Tyrone Bowman live. A black man who's an entrepreneur hired several Latinos to work for his company. You need to hear exactly what he had to say regarding the backstabbing, the lying, that they were doing in an attempt to get all the black employees fired so that they could hire their relatives. And y'all wonder why we're not out there protesting with you. Let's go to this video.
I'm a black man. I own a company. I hire a Latino. The Latino comes back and complains about the African Americans because the Latino thinks because I'm African, I don't have any relationship with the African American. The Latino comes to me and tell me that you are an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. That African American cannot work.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right, so in today's episode, you're going to be reacting to a video of a black man, a Nigerian American man, right, who came out to the internet and admitted something that, quite frankly, I feel like validated black Americans' thoughts about Latinos, right? And he's going to be discussing his experience with this Latino, and it's quite unbelievable. I'm asking myself if this is how they think, and they think behind closed doors.
Yeah, it's so easy for them to think like this on a regular basis.
Yeah, if they do it when they think nobody is watching, So this is just like, it's customary to them, if I may say, yeah. But we don't want to talk a lot. We just want you to watch and hear this, and then we come back and talk about it. And let us know your thoughts and opinion on the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here, right?
Right. Let's watch and then we come back.
Now stay with me right now. Doesn't matter.
Whatever, man. We're going to get to the nitty-gritty of this story right here.
This is just like, it's customary to them, if I may say, yeah. But we don't want to talk a lot. We just want you to watch and hear this, and then we come back and talk about it. And let us know your thoughts and opinion on the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here, right?
Right. Let's watch and then we come back.
Guys who are working in my company. I'm a black man. I own a company. I hire a Latino. The Latino comes back and complain about the African Americans because the Latino thinks because I'm African, I don't have any relationship with the African American. The Latino comes to me and tell me that you are an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. That African American cannot work. I have Jose, I have Gonzalez, my brothers who know how to work very well. You need to fire the African Americans, and I will bring a lot of hardworking Latinos who work for your company. This is my company as a black man. My company. I was a contractor at Quantico Marine Base in Virginia. A contractor for General Electrics. And the Latino workers that I hired, they are snitching on the African American workers that I hired for me to fire the African Americans so they can bring Latinos to take their place.
Hispanics practice Jim Crow against black Americans in Houston. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. At Houston Community College, right? The Chandler Caesar, he's a Hispanic man. He got together with the director of HR and the board of trustees, and they came up with this plan to get rid of black employees at high positions. They did anything from putting false complaints in their folders so they could get demoted or get fired. And then they replaced these black employees with Hispanics. Hispanics went up, the hiring for Hispanics went up 50%. These three individuals orchestrated the plan. And this is what they stated in their emails. Now, we Hispanics are going to receive preferential treatment. This plan was successful, targeting black top employees. Now they got a class action suit against Houston Community College for $100 million. They have to come up with some type of settlement by 2026. But yeah, let Houston tell it. They'll tell you like brown and black unity.
Guys, listen to what this man has to say, and I'll come.
Let me just interject this here. I want to really get into this for a minute. I live in a community where I have a lot of Latinos and Mexicans and Spanish people. And I can tell you firsthand about the racism and the bigotry that they have toward black people. in their barbershops, their stores, their restaurants, etc. And see, what they don't know is that I speak Spanish, and I understand Spanish very well. And many times I go into their stores and I don't say anything. I just listen to their conversations and the way that they're talking about us. And then when I've had enough of it, I begin to speak in Spanish and lay the behinds out. Because they are racist. The majority of them are bigoted. The majority of them hate black people. They even hate the dark-skinned Latinos who speak Spanish and were born. You are discriminatory against your own people. And it was you all who put yourselves in the position that you're in because you all decided to vote against your own interest in this past election because of your hatred for black people and especially for former Vice President Kamala Harris. You were singing that famous song, I vote for Donald Trump, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And now our people, I'm talking about black people, they have been on the forefront and the front lines of every major civil rights demonstration here in America. Do your homework and do your histories. Black people have fought every battle for civil rights. And many of you all, you come to this country, a lot of immigrants come to the country when the battles have been fought and the battles have been won, and you receive great preferential treatment because of what my foreparents did. So don't give me that BS about unity among us. You all deep down inside your hearts, you can't stand us. And it's fine with me because we're doing just fine and we're going to continue to do fine as a people. If you want unity, you got to show unity. Can't be discriminatory in the neighborhoods toward black people, neighborhoods that we grew up in. Let's get back to this video here because this is explosive and it's important.
Come back for my commentary.
Who are working in my company. I'm a black man. I own a company. I hire a Latino. The Latino comes back and complain about the African Americans because the Latino thinks because I'm African, I don't have any relationship with the African American. The Latino comes to me and tell me that you are an immigrant.
Did you hear that?
Here's how you can pay off your debt without setting foot in the bank.
I don't want to see these flimsy commercials. They always get black people to make them get out of here. They're crap.
Houston, they'll tell you like brown.
And tell me that you are an immigrant.
Did you hear that? He said he's an African, an immigrant. And a Latino that he hired snitched on African American workers to get them fired. He wants him to fire, get rid of black men, African Americans, because they're not immigrants, and that he was going to give him Latinos who he would hire because they're immigrants. He didn't get him African immigrants. He said he's going to get them Latino immigrants. Okay, so that's why I have said that there has never been a black and brown coalition. We're not one. This doesn't apply to all, but at the end of the day, we are not one. Now, why am I bringing this up? Look at what is happening now. The riots, the protests, okay? Now they're all complaining, where are the black people, which is very insulting and quite stupid. Where are they that we all need to be one? But look at, this is what they do. And I've experienced this. I know so many people. I know so many black people who went to Florida, Miami, who said they will not give them jobs. They discriminate against them. They are 10 times more hostile than even white people to them. And these are the people who want you to now come together to fight. They want black bodies in the front to be bulletproof vests. They see black people as utility, not as equal. These are the same people telling you, let's fight together. This is an indication. And the second thing I want to say, I really want to commend this African man, because a big problem with us as black people worldwide is the lack of unity and worshiping anything that doesn't look like us, worshiping anything that has a lighter skin than us. betraying ourselves and weakening ourselves. And I'm so glad that he stood in solidarity. Now, what is happening to people of the Latin community it's sad, it's unfortunate, but we did our job. We voted in the right way, but you voted for proximity to whiteness. You wanted to wine and dine with them. So if you want help, go to them. They're the ones with the power. Go to them. Where are your celebrities? How come J-Lo isn't talking? She needs to open her mouth. Gloria Estevez or Esteban, whatever. All of your people, none of them are talking, but you come bothering us, the same Africans that you look down on, the same Africans and black people who you say it's a letdown to associate or marry them. No, we're staying home. And a police officer in Florida just said that they were going to unleash violence and unaliving if there's any resistance. So we're not getting involved. Fight your own battles. Leave us out of it.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the episode we just played you, yeah? You know, this proves that Latinos can never be allies to Black Americans, and that, you know, it is not while they have this thinking process, and I do believe the more they get called out for whatever they're doing, the more they'll become aware of just how exposed. Yeah, the more they'll become aware of just how self-absorbing they are, and that they don't have to live like they don't have any guilt, right? And or they don't have to live as if they are very holy, holier than thou attitude, you know. And you know, whenever we say that Latinos can never be allies to Black, there's some people actually who reached out to us even on Instagram and call us divisive. So, okay, to those people who call us divisive for saying that, we just say this based off of what we see. And this is an experience solely, like this man has no reason at all to come and lie on the internet. Right? Moreover, there's also a Latino man in this compilation who came onto the internet and told us, of which it's a very Google. You can Google the events. Yeah, it's a Googleable thing that he said. Guys, you get what I'm saying? It's very. You can Google whatever he said about that university, and that right now it is facing a class action suit. You know, and what I'm saying is to the people who are calling us divisive for sharing these kinds of videos. You know, I feel like you're the very same people who are trying to shut up people who are bringing such issues to light, because my thing is, I do believe only by talking about it will you influence any type of change. Because, guys, let me tell you something. This might not be a form of abuse, but let me liken it to abuse. You know, an abuser only continues being an abuser if nobody else knows that they're abusing their spouse. But the minute their spouse start to speak up, it will make sure that this person is under a microscope, because other people will start looking at him like, are you really an abuser? Right, and that creates that uncomfortable environment for them to continue being abused that bad way. Right. They keep on acting, you know. Right. And an abuser only thrives when people don't know his true nature. Right. Because, let me tell you guys something. You know, we are from Africa, right? Long ago, if you would tell us about white Americans being unfair to Black Americans, we would never believe you, because what the eye doesn't see, the mind doesn't believe. You know, when you told us that Latinos are this, that, and the other, we would never believe you, because let me tell you something. There is a TV station called Telemundo and another one called Telenovela. If you're an American and you love Mexican soaps, I'm sure you know these channels. A lot of Africans, but let me be particular, Kenyans, watch telenovelas. And for the longest time, even Nigerian Africans in general, we enjoy telenovelas. And for the longest time, we have enjoyed telenovelas without asking ourselves why there are no Black characters, what is it called, casted in these telenovelas, you know. And it wasn't until we started doing this Black American content and issues that we also started stumbling upon the issues that Latinos have with Black Americans, what they're told behind closed doors of Mihora La Raza, and don't bring Black people in the family because they want to better their genes, you know. So right now, before I heard all of that, if I were to hear these people speak, I would be the one of the very same people who would call people who are trying to bring this to light divisive and people who try to divide people.
Right.
But we are not trying to divide people. These are all things that are there on the internet.
Right.
And okay, let's give you another instance. If this feels like
Before they continue, I'm going to interject this once again. And this is a stipulated fact. Asians stick with Asians and they hire Asians. Chinese people stick with Chinese people and they hire Chinese people. Mexicans and Spanish people stick to their own kind. Well, guess what? Black people, we are going to do the same thing. Learn to love your people, irregardless of where we are, whether we're dark, light, brown, in between, or darn near white looking. Because miscegenation took place during the days of slavery, and so therefore that's why you have all complexities of black people. Black is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with being black. I said black is beautiful. I love my black people. I love my black ancestry. I love my black heritage. And for my brothers and sisters over in Africa, learn to love your brothers and sisters over here in America. Because we must unify. We must be one. We're the only people on the face of the earth that are hated and despised by any and everybody. Am I against interracial relationships? No, I'm not. You have a choice to be married to whoever, and you can love whoever you choose to love. That's not the issue with me. The issue with me is this. If you want solidarity among a certain group of people, learn to fight for them and stand with them, and they will do the same for you. In every major metropolitan city across America, black people have died, lost blood, sweat, went to prison because of civil rights. And this is a stipulated fact. I grew up in that era, so I know what it's about. And I know what I've lived and what I've experienced and what I've seen firsthand. So the media can't play with me. Social media can't play with me. My people are from the deep, 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 deep South. And they told me about Jim Crow, the KKK, and everything else that took place down there. The Great Migration. That's why black folk left the South and came from the North, because they got tired of it. Now, what's happening in America? No, is it right? No, it's not right. Do I endorse it? No, I don't endorse it. But it's a shame when you vote against your own interest. Because had Kamala Harris become president, all this stuff that's happening right now, it wouldn't be taking place. And you want her to help you? She's not the president of the United States. And we kept trying to tell you all who to vote for, but you wouldn't listen. You know, Telemundo, Univision, and all these Spanish networks and corporations, they don't hire black people. They purposefully don't do it because they're racist and they're bigoted. I said it. I don't care if you get mad with me. I don't give a damn, because I tell it the way it is.
Like it's habitual, you know. And what I can say about this situation is whatever is done in the dark shall come to light. And why am I saying that? Because the Nigerian guy who was describing his situation with that Latin worker, this guy, that was coming from a very, very, and I have to say very selfish point of view when he was talking to the Nigerian guy. And the Nigerian guy couldn't have put it in any better way. He's saying there, this man had the audacity to come to him and tell him to fire his black
workers so that he can bring on Latino workers. These are people who could even have devised to
I
steal
agree
his
with that,
business
Marie.
away from him.
Right.
If they were willing to put their fellow colleagues out of business just so they can look for opportunities for their own kind.
I
Right,
agree with
and
your
I'm
statement.
saying, so
I mean,
is that
pardon me,
how
Maria.
they've managed to take
I agree with
things
you.
from the Black American community? Because that is one way of literally taking somebody's livelihood away from them. Because assuming this guy was a bad person, because how many palm-colored people have been told that by their Latin workers and
they actually followed through with this.
Exactly. So these things you can never unhear them once you hear them, and there's no way you're gonna. Okay, all I can say is the truth is normally very uncomfortable, especially if it's something that has been ailing the community that people treat like it should be normal and it's not normal. You know, it's
And-
not normal, and once people start speaking about it, the truth is very uncomfortable. But people need to sit in that uncomfortable feeling
in order for change to actually be effective.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing I'm just glad about is this brother, he saw through his Latino worker and he saw what this Latino worker was trying to do. Because even for this black brother to defend the black American whom the Latino wanted to be let go of, you know, it means he saw the malice that this Latino came with. And one of the sisters who spoke from the collections with Shodi said that the worst part wasn't that he was even willing to bring other black immigrants to work for his boss. He wanted to replace those spots with his Latin people, meaning whether or not the black American was doing a wrong thing, it isn't known him. He just wanted to place his own people in those spots.
And that's very selfish, but I have to say that one karma dealt with him very quickly.
Very quickly.
And you know, this just goes to show that there's a lot of pretense and hypocrisy in how Latin Americans deal with Black Americans. And to some extent, you might be forgiven for thinking that they all have a hidden agenda behind the interactions with Black people, you know. Because if one can do this, how many cases are there that you've not heard of, you know? So I would say that is quite pretentious and hypocritical. These are the type of people who might go and mingle with Black America while stabbing Black Americans in the back, you know. Because, okay, it's okay. This is like one whole resource that all of you are fighting for, but if you're getting it in a fair and, you know, in a
Then
fair
it's
manner,
alright.
it's understandable. But if you have to go behind people's backs and you have to act trifling about it, I feel like that is very malicious for them to do, and that will never be the way to get Black Americans on your side, you know, because these things come out to light.
Yeah, or in order for Latinos in general to work towards working together with Black Americans, I do feel like cases like this need to be brought to light a lot,
And
so
they
that
need
they
to be
can
handled.
so that they can fix it in their community. Because I do feel like long ago when Latinos would demand for Black Americans to join a certain cause, Black Americans were joining because these cases weren't being brought up to the internet the way the way they're coming up right now. And right now, it feels like it is a divisive way of doing content because, you know, there is feelings. When you bring something to light, people are gonna feel bad, right? So some will say you're being divisive, some will see it for what it is, you know. But at the end of the day, I do feel like by talking is when things get resolved, and Latinos maybe will start getting right with themselves.
Right. Guys, let us know what you think about this. Personally, I've already given up trying to even, you know, give Latinos the benefit of the doubt.
Not unless they show their worthiness.
Do you
of
think
being
they
given
will? This looks
No.
like
You know,
deep-rooted.
it's deep-rooted, but I do believe there are some who really are genuine about being one with the Black community. Just us in the white community, much as there's deep-rooted racism, there are people who are working to deconstruct those ideologies of racism, like people like Tim Wise.
Then I feel like for those ones who are wanting to be one with the Black community, they have a lot of work to do.
is what I'm
Their
saying.
community has serious issues, and those problems don't just go away. Not even in a decade. It needs a lot of work,
Right.
which needs to be done. And definitely, right now, there's more that needs to be done than what is actually being done right now.
Right. So guys, let us know what you think about this episode in the comment section. Also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.
All right, everybody. I think that's enough for one day on this video. Never surrender, never quit.